Current change environment at organizations right now is not good. The number of changes that organizations are experiencing, and these are major enterprise-wide changes, we've seen about a 5-fold increase in just the last 7 years. Conversely, the number of employees willing to support those changes has decreased by actually a little bit over 40%. We call this the transformation deficit. Effectively, the more that organizations want to change, the less their employees are willing to support those changes. The best way to involve employees in change is to engage them in shaping leadership decisions about how to change and what to change. It also involves helping those employees implement those changes in a way that makes sense to them and their work on a day-to-day basis. And it requires a two-way dialogue between leaders, organizations, and their employees. However, it can be really difficult to expect employees to engage in those processes if they're burnt out from change, or they're actively resisting change, or they've become really fatigued. And that's the environment that we're currently operating in. In order to break through that, we need something really big that's missing from most organizations, and that's psychological safety. Psychological safety is the foundation of change management, because when you have it, you actually get an opportunity for employees to weigh in on decision-making that their leaders are making, to shape those decisions and help the decisions actually be better for employees, better for the employee experience. Because gosh, when you've got 10 or more organizational changes going on at the same time, your change experience is your employee experience. And then if those employees are also empowered to actually experiment in their day-to-day work without fear of getting in trouble, that makes it so much safer for them to figure out like how these changes are going to impact their day-to-day work and what they need to do differently, and just reduce the overall level of anxiety associated with changes. So we've got this great example that we just finished profiling of an organization bringing psychological safety into some of their ways that they're managing change. It's an organization called Quartz, and they run what they call a Kill a Stupid Rule workshop. I mean, imagine that, just the signaling to your employees when a leader says, hey, I want to bring you together and think of some of the rules that we have that may no longer serve our purpose, so that we can kill them together. Just even signaling that is a big deal, but then actually following through on it, we find that to be absolutely incredible. Right? We're going to bring a team together. We're going to say, what have we been doing in the past that is no longer serving our needs today? What can we do together to figure out how to stop doing those things? It signals to your employees that your leaders are actually listening to you and want to make positive changes. It also reduces the burden of all of these different rules and procedures and processes that no longer serve you, which creates room in people's minds for new ways of working, which is really what managing changes is all about. When it comes to actually implementing this in your change management work, first and foremost, I would recommend making sure that the way that you manage your day-to-day changes is handled in a way that promotes these outcomes over the long run. And towards those ends, we've developed a change management ignition guide that our clients can use to help govern their own change process in a way that builds towards these outcomes in the long run. But ultimately, we're also not just talking about a change management strategy. We're talking about an organizational culture shift. So look at your performance management approach. Look at your leadership development approach. Look at your culture attributes. What are you doing or not doing to develop psychological safety at your organization? And then connect with a Gartner advisor, and we'll be able to help you figure out what changes you could be making to make those outcomes easier and more effective for your organization in the future.